Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I thought I'd do a video about circuit boards. All these different kinds. We got, this is out of a server, a Dell 1200, 2 chips in it. A lot of crap on this board, but we'll do about all that, not gonna go into everything like so. These are inductors, copper on these, of course. These usually got the memory RAM chips in here, and there's a couple. These are the CPUs. Depending on what kind they are, certain companies will buy these CPUs out of there. And this one's also one there. There's a lot of stuff on this board, of course. A lot of inductors, copper. I mean, but I probably just send this board in as is, and I won't take off any of these inductors or anything, just to, give them something to play with. They take off the chips though. This type of board, this is also off of the video screen off of a bigger TV, a lot of ports and everything, monitor. There's got a lot of chips on it too. This is a pretty good board, pretty high end. This kind of board here is basically a radio. I tell radio boards are usually this color. They've got these things on here, which are your for frequencies, like the radio stations work and all that. So radio boards are always very similar. They've been making radios for quite a while, so they're kind of very similar. Usually there's not a whole lot on these boards that are worth anything. I mean, you might find one copper coil or something, or a relay. They have black boards too. I can't remember. This is like I don't know what this came out of. There's really nothing on here that's worth a crap. The lowest end thing is these white boards, and these you'll find in like your clock radios and just things of that nature, older electronic things that are just real low end stuff. There's nothing on here but a couple of resistors and capacitor and a switch and whatever that box is, but there's nothing on there worth nothing. That's garbage. Sometimes you get red boards like this one. This was out of a computer. It had a chip here, Spirion or something. I don't know. Had some memory. But this board just got some of these the CPUs that are on here, not CPUs, but the integrated circuits and stuff. They might be using the company that takes the chips or takes these things will take them, like Board Sort USA, and they'll take this stuff. Lots of blue boards you can get. Sometimes you find these in laptops more often than anything. That's a laptop board out of a I can't tell if I can't remember what it was out of, but I mean I've got these all the time. So another one, there's a chip that in here that's usually in this area. It comes out of this one, and this is all you plug in. There's not much to it really on these boards. Also, this is worth sending into the board company, but there's nothing on here for your average scrapper person that's gonna do anything for us. There's just nothing we can really do with. And you got, this is a big TV board from the big flat screen that we tore apart the other day, and there's a lot of stuff on here that's good for average scrapper guys. The aluminum heat sinks on here. Those are good. Another heat sink here, and all these transformer type things. They're copper. Those are good. And there's these inductors here. There's got a lot of copper on them. Yeah, a little winding, a little spool on there. Once you pull it off, comes off pretty easily. A lot of copper in this. These relay switches have got copper in it. This one, this is kind of magneto right here. Got copper. Another one of those right here. So these ones, they do have a lot of copper. There's other stuff. I mean, unless you're into the board circuits, all these capacitors and resistors and all that whatnot. That's probably got some copper into the little transformer there. So there's a few things on this board like this that are decent to, it takes a lot to add it up to anything, but just know what your parts are that you're looking at is because usually these are transistors that are on these heat sinks most of the time. This one like that, because they get hot when they're operating, of course. So that's what the heat sinks are for. And so, but they usually use aluminum with those. Sometimes you find cheaper ones, and they've got some, like this pieces here. These ones are not aluminum; they're some kind of metal, tin of some sort or other. And so those are worth, there's nothing to leave this on there. And like a board like this, because of all the chips around here, if I took this board out and removed the bigger pieces on it, I could probably send this board into that chip to the board place too, because it's got some good stuff on here. They don't want this board. This is just standard bullshit. There's nothing over here that's worth anything really doing other than to scrap or get the copper things. You know, that's about it. These things right here, this is the electron gun for television screens. There's copper in there and stuff, but it's like getting that thing open is like, gosh, difficult. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. So these are, you know, little things in there. This is interesting here. This is a really high-end board, and it's got that kind of aquamarine color to it. And these, you can tell, this is really worth sitting in. Or if you want to, this has tantalum on it, and tantalum is a very rare element they use to replace the capacitors. And so these little squares, these yellow squares on here, I'm not sure what the price of it is currently, but I know that it's something like an astronomical amount per ounce. You know, like more than gold. And it's, you know, I've been saving up to. So you'll find that on high-end boards. So you won't find that tantalum on anything else, but high-end stuff. This was a docking station for a Dell computer or something like that, and the gold too. So now, if you're into the gold thing, if you want to recover gold or try to do something with that, you know, some places take that too. The board companies that take the boards, they'll take anything with the gold pins for a computer or whatever like that. But this is just a little bit of the gold that I'm collecting. These are off of the flat screen TVs. They have gold connection all the way around on there. And the flat screens, they have these. There's like 4 of these things on the flat screens. So that's all gold on the pieces. So it's not a lot of gold, but you save it up, and there's a way to do it that you can collect it, and you know you can get you save it up and you get some gold out of it. Little things. A lot of boards have it'll be on the back sides, has that amount, you know, and on the front etched. Also on the back. So you put that in the solution, acid eats up stuff, and separates the gold leaf from this stuff, and then you can, you know, refine it and have gold. That one's got a pretty good amount on it. These are all these long ones are from flat screen TVs. And some have a lot more. There's also a lot of gold in them. The old cell phones have a pretty good amount of it. They're getting less and less and less because they've gotten better at the amount they need to use. You know, that's the thing. Like anything else, these boards when you start out, you're getting these boards, or some of the older boards, they've got all kinds of things on there that are interesting and worth some money. They're big pieces, but you know, they've refined stuff down to the point now where you have to, you know, it's just all integrated circuits, and it's like there's nothing for us scrapper guys, you know. So you gotta kind of go for bigger items. I mean, I get the TVs and stuff because they have the yoke does have a good piece of copper in there most of the time, and but like flat screens, there's just nothing in the things except for these long back. That's about it. And there's maybe a little circuit board of like one of the nature of one of these ones maybe inside of flat screen TVs. There's just nothing in there anymore. It's you know, as you can recognize it, how it would work. And it's just one of those things. You know, this, like I said, this is probably from the early 2000s or 90s, and this is projection screen TV. This is more what you expect to see in a regular TV. There's a lot of, it's got the electron gun and all this other stuff like that. So if you get just a regular TV tube set, which you probably get if you're doing scrapping of any sort, then you're going to find a board like half the size of that one, though, because that's a big one with 3 different tubes on it. You know, one we took apart the other day. If you see that video, a couple of videos back, if you want to be interested in seeing that one. So anyway, so that's a quick thing on the circuit boards here, and you know, there's other colors too. I've seen some yellow boards in computers, and other things like that. And you know, the market for it's just nothing. You know, it's like for us scrapper guys that need to, you got to get something that's got something in it. And unfortunately, the way they're making things these days, are more and more just nothing in them. And I look on things like, how does that work? You know, it's like back in the days, you could tell, you know, like go back to record players. Remember, we all loved record players, and you know that's something you could just had a disc on it and had little notches on it, and the needle went up and down the notches. I mean, something you can understand, something you can figure out. And they came up with the cassette recorders, tape recorders, and I understand how that works with it magnetically arranging stuff on a tape, but how that works and how, you know, who knows? That's one of the ones that, you know, I know how it works, but how it works, I don't know. CD it's kind of a little bit more easy to understand because it's actually more like a record. It's just a laser instead of a needle. Basically, it hits the little grooves underneath that glass. I mean plastic. So it's kind of easy to understand that. But with the integrated circuits that they make, all these other things go into one little tiny circuit that's the size of like this. That super powerful chips that who knows what these things can do, all this processing power. It's crazy, and they make it so that these things are just beyond our capacity. I try to repair stuff if I can. I reuse it, I rebuild stuff if possible. I mean, I really don't like to tear stuff apart. Like 90% of TVs, if you get, like I get them, they almost always work. The big tube jet sets, because people are getting rid of them. They're getting the flat screens because of the weight, size issues. They carrying them around. They want to put them in the space issues. People have got smaller houses and stuff nowadays. They don't want the gigantic 20-inch or 40-inch freaking Sony thing weighs 200 pounds. I just can't even tell you how many TVs I get that still work. And it kills me. It really does. To have to tear something apart that I know works. It's just like so terrible. But it's our society, throwaway society. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing this channel to save the planet or be an environmentalist or anything like that. I mean, I think of like most of you guys out there that are doing scrapping. I'm trying to do it to make a few extra bucks here along the way, and if I can get some good out of it, which I've got surprisingly good things. What I did was I took I just made a few flyers saying that I would pick up all electronic stuff, and I kind of said how much the dump takes for this stuff, and which is ridiculous. We out there where I live. Anyway, they got an arm and a leg for, they call it white metal for in like washers and dryers and whatnot. You're paying them to take that stuff like $25 plus for a refrigerator or a air conditioner, because the Freon that's in it, they want like $75 to take that stuff. So, and like I said in the last video, I'm not gonna mess around the air conditioners because the Freon that's in it, and that's against the law to be messing with that stuff without a license to take the fuel out of it. Sorry, the Freon. But if I take people, if it gets me in the door to pick that thing up, and I get 3 other things, and so be it. I'll save air conditioners for a while. And my shop that I take the stuff to will take them eventually. But mainly, because I wrote on the flyer, I take all electronics, anything with a cord. And mainly I put, large appliances, any appliances, because people, they can't get rid of the old stove, or the old washer, or the old dishwasher, or the old refrigerator. So they got that in their backyard or wherever, or in their garage. And so I immediately, within a week, I had 5-6 calls. I mean, every day of the week, and I was getting 2 refrigerators, a washer and dryer, this and that, and this stove, and and then they're like, well, you take this too, and so they throw in a fan or a VCR or some old broken down thing. I got a tube set radio, RCA from 1950 something or other, and it's on my tube set. Still works, but it's just one of the big bulky cabinet ones, But I looked online for this thing, and they're selling it for a couple $100 all day long. So I've cleaned it all up, and that's what I'm gonna do with it. So you can make the money here and there. It's always better to not have to tear something apart if you can sell it. I mean, obviously, you're gonna make way more money with doing this than to tear it apart. Unfortunately, like the TVs, I mean, you can't give them away. So you're just gonna tear it apart. You better just tear it apart, get the copper out of it, and to figure out what you can do with the glass, with the tube and the plastic. That's usually the problem you got to deal with it. So, and some places recycle the plastic, some places don't. We used to, we don't anymore. So I save it up. I've got a pile of stuff, and then the white metal things, of course, refrigerators, washers, dryers. That white metal, they'll take it as 10 where I go out here as scrap metal, but it's like $30 a ton or something like that. It's nothing spectacular pricing on it, but you can get rid of it. And so that's what I do. It's like you're not gonna, anybody that's sort of gonna run, you're not gonna buy a new house scrapping stuff. But I know the people that are out there that are scrapping. You guys out there are probably a lot like me. It's just not it's something to be self-sufficient in a way, and we're not kind of guys that want to work in that authority type thing. And we've probably done that already in all our whole lives. It's like me. I've had like 3 careers. It's a butcher, a roofer, friggin' and a manager of a friggin' grocery store. It's gone out of business since now. But these, I don't want to work for nobody again. I'm done with that crap. Especially after all the last stuff with this last couple of years, and with all this stuff that went down with you know what and the you know what. And yeah, there's no way in heck I want to go back into having to that stuff. My girlfriend had to get one of those, you know, and then she's been sick ever since. And so hell with that. I'm, you know, I want to call pure blood, right? For sure. And I'm staying that way. I'm not gonna. They're not putting nothing in me, and I don't believe in their BS no more. So, you know, that's another part of this channel that I'm gonna kind of work into is I want to, you know, do the scrapping always, and but as it progresses along, you know, there's only so many things to show you guys how to scrap if you haven't already known how to do it, and what we can, you know, what you can get out of it that's good and whatnot. So kind of transition into we'll talk about, you know, current events or what's going on around us that we see, and a little more out there. So I talked about the Mandela effect in the other video. I was going to do a story on that, but I thought I would do some more scrapping stuff first to get established as doing that. And that's kind of what my channel about. That's recycled reality, the recycled part, or recycling reality, and the recycling part is the recycling, obviously. The reality part is going to be the talking about, you know, what's going on around us and what we see and what we believe, and you know, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of discussion on such topics, I don't think, and I'm hoping the two can mix together. So if you know, anybody out there gets any feedback and, you know, has any suggestions of what you would like to see me tear apart, because I have everything. You want to see me tear apart, whatever it is. I mean, I can do a microwave, but I mean, there's nothing in the damn things. They're so routine. I'm probably gonna do it anyway just for that. I mean, I like the magnets that are in them. They're cool, but really, as far as anything that any money in there, is the transformer, and that's like it. There's nothing else. There's nothing in the things. The washers and dryers, we can do those, of course. And you know, there's the motors and there's different ones. So there's a couple of washers which I've seen very oddly, the same ones I keep for some reason go out. I guess because I've gotten a bunch of the same kind of washer over and over again, so I can tear those apart with my blindfold. You know, but there's a couple of good things in there, like the motors here. You know. Yeah, these motors here, those are, you know, they give you, they range in price for the what they but I mean, if you want to cut into those and get all that copper out of there, you're gonna get a better price, of course. But I mean, it's a bitch to cut into that stuff, but you need a angle grinder, and you can do it, and it's just, you know, more thing. I've got so many motors though. I've got like 10 of them over here already that I just take them in as motors and get whatever it is going price for the most part, because I don't want to screw around with cutting them open. Transformers, the same thing. The big transformers, you cut those the metal off around it, and you get all the copper out of it. And so some of them, you know, it's worth doing sometimes if it's easy to get them off there. Sometimes they're heavy duty, man. So, you know, it's all about time that you want to spend on this stuff. And I've got the stuff just saved up. I just try to get all the good stuff, and then I go and take it in and start collecting again and go. I mean, like I said, you're not going to buy a house with all this scrapping stuff. So it just gives me something to do. And plus, I build a lot of things. I use a lot of parts that I get for I build mechanical things. I'll show you through those in another video. I'm building this Halloween props right now. There's like a robot, and it's got an arm for the haunted house. You have a little lever it steps on, and you know, he goes off on it. So I got this cool haunted house I'm in the production of building. I'll probably show you guys that when I get it all done. You know, to just for the hell of it. I'll try to stick to the script with the scrapping stuff as much as possible. I've got tons of different things. There's newer washers, HEs that tear apart. So those are done. Flat screens, of course, the big screens. I got a microwave I'm going to do that's from it's a convection microwave, so it's a little bit different than a regular microwave. Might be something interesting in there to check out. Refrigerators, air conditioner. I did the ones of that. What else do I got? Okay, VCRs, CD players. I mean, how many of those? I could tear those apart for a week long and have a marathon tear apart VCR thing. So, got tons of those. There's a few things in those VCR, older ones that have got something. There's a few things in them. You know, everything's got something in it. Maybe even if it's just a little inductor with a little bit of copper on it, or a little transformer. It's got a little copper on it. There's always something. You know, it's all depends on what time you want to take and how much you want to do with it. You end up with a lot of excess bull sometimes, but you know, it's on the same. Sometimes you get some really cool stuff doing this. So, like I said, I got that RCA stereo system, the tube set, and I think that's really cool. And everything on it works. Everything in 1950s. It had a whole set of records in there, 45s that were, you know, you know, really old ones, the Supremes and the Shondells and stuff like that. So there's some cool, the Chubby Checker. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Sometimes you come across something cool stuff, and people don't know what they got, and you know, you just never know. So I've found a lot of cool stuff just by doing that, putting the flyers out at a few stores. I had to go take them down because I just kept getting calls, and I got so much stuff. I had to, you know, I had to take a break from it because, like, you know, this is, show you over here. These are all washers. There's all washers, dryers, a couple fridges there, a couple dishwashers, and a rowing machine, a freaking electric bike thing. Just, you know, that was just real fast. I got all that stuff, so I had to take the flyers, go down and take them down. So it's like, you know, I can't get no more until I get this stuff all, you know, go through this stuff a little bit. So, and it takes a little bit of time tearing apart. You know, I got somebody else that helps me tear this stuff apart, and that's good. But I get backed up with it, and you know, sometimes you just get tired of tearing apart washers, and I've torn apart quite a few. So, all right, I think that's gonna be cutting it for right now. It's gonna get this out there for everybody. And you know, like I said, if you see something or anything that you like to see torn down, I got it. I can tear anything apart and show you how it's done in one way or another. And so I'm gonna do it. I'm probably doing a microwave next. This big one I got out of an RV, and it's supposed to be, you know, it's convection, 12 volt, so it might be a little bit different than your standard old Walmart brand. And we'll see if there's anything cool in there, and go from there. All right. So thanks for checking in, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.